So just like I did with the Deus 2 last week, where I went out and I created a custom coin and high conductor notch program. Let me lower my sensitivity down over here. I did the same thing with the Manticore with some room for error, and I'll show you in the test garden why. So this here, I have some targets laid out. We'll go through them. Here's a zinc penny, which I took out of the equation, and a zinc penny, a copper penny, and an Indian head penny are pretty close, but I was able to get this to work, and I'll show you the notch numbers when I'm done here demonstrating. So here's a zinc penny. Okay, it's not coming through. It's right on the line, and I'll show you the reason for that. So here's an Indian head penny. It's gonna be right in the middle, and I do have a little bit of left and right room for error there. And then here's a wheat penny. So on the other side of that, and there's the zinc falling in right next to it, but blocked out. Now you will dig some just like I was digging some with the Deus 2 notch that I used last week, but it will knock out a lot of them. So again, this is the wheat here, this is the Indian, and here's the zinc out. All right, and then we go nickels. So nickel is a little bit different too. So we have a regular nickel at 25 with a whole bunch of room for error there, and then a buffalo nickel next to it, a little bit of room left and right for error. And then I left everything just like I did on the Deus 2 for high conductors. So I want to dig them. This will also pick out my gold ring. It'll miss smaller gold, but my gold ring comes in at a 33. So then high conductor, everything is really nice on the right side. So this one here is a mercury dime. Then this is a bobber dime. Stand Liberty quarter. And over here is a bobber quarter. So everything after zinc comes in nice and high, just like I was doing. I had a lot of success with the Deus 2 with that notch program. I'm hoping for the same with this. So we'll take this over to the test garden now, see how it does with buried targets, and it'll give you a better example of why I created these tighter, but then you know, opened them up more. And it's just because of the minerals in the ground and the room for error with commingled targets, and this notch here helps pull everything through. I saved this as a favorite as well. You can see the star up there. So let's go over to the test garden, and then I'll walk you through the parameters of this. We'll definitely take it back to that school this weekend, and what we'll do is we'll compare. I'll take the Deus 2. We'll go over some of them with the custom notch here, and the Deus 2 with the custom notch, to see how we do with coins. All right, so we're in the test garden. I'm going to go through my settings first. And I'm using volume 20, all-terrain general, noise cancel 3, ground balance 0, recovery I dropped to 4. Discrimination pattern is the one that we set up with the notches for coins. Ferrous limits 9 and 4, ferrous volume. One region all tone is what we're using for this, and audio theme is normal. So if you were creating a coin program based off an air test, all of the minerals in the ground, small iron, anything like that, commingled, that will mask the targets, you're going to miss a lot. So you got to leave some room for error, like I did here. So we're stopping this program at zinc penny, which, like I said, you will still dig some, and then everything up from zinc penny, just like I did with the discrimination pattern on the Deus 2. And we'll go back to the school this weekend and compare them. So I'll go over one with the Manticore, and then go over the Deus 2, and we'll see how they compare. But here's a 10-inch walking half right here at depth. And you could see how long that line is on this because of how deep it is, and commingled minerals and small iron that are in the ground with it. So that is not a nice tight dot anymore. If you tried to make a nice tight dot around this with an air test, you could possibly miss this. So I left in all high conductors after that zinc penny. All right, and let's look at a silver ring. Same thing, not nice and tight. You can tell there's a whole bunch in the ground with this target right here, the 10-inch walker, by how long that line is. So where there could be tiny bits of foil or iron, something's pulling that VDI down. but it's still letting it come in. So this silver ring is a cleaner hole, but you can also tell it's a good spread on there. It's not a nice tight dot. Okay, so we have room for error after zinc pennies. Let's look at a buffalo nickel, 8-inch. All right, so we left room for error right and left on that, but that's a nice clean hole too. That's coming in. And I left room on the right for gold. So my ring comes in. What's that ID? That ID is a 32, and you can see how it's to the right. Same setup that I used for the notch on the Deus 2. All right, so I think this is going to work good. We're going to try it this weekend, live digging, comparing the Deus 2 and the Manticore with the notch programs I set up. Let's go inside and I will go over the numbers I used for this. To set up this discrimination pattern, we're going to go into settings. We're going to go up to discrimination pattern. We're going to hit the pencil. When you first come in here, it's only set at 1 VDI, so that would be really tedious to try and knock out 1 VDI at a time. You can hit this up button. It'll let you change it up to 20. And then to knock them out and let them back in is just the accept reject button. We're going to use the left side as a reference for the lines that I created. So the first block is 0 all the way to 21. So you're going to knock out 0 to 21. We'll make the box smaller now for the next one. The next block is going to be 41 through 46. All right, we can make the block a little bit bigger now. The next one we're going to take out is 55 through 65. All right. Now, if you wanted to just create a silver program, well, a USA silver program, because I know overseas they have tiny silver that will fall all over the place. But if you wanted to create just a silver program, you could knock out all the way from 0 to 65. It'll take out the zinc pennies and still let everything else above in. This program also, I mean, a big chunk of foil here, you can see where that falls. So we have a nice wide range for gold, not small gold, but this is my ring here, and some room to the left for smaller gold. And our nickel range, we have our Indian head penny range in the center. I left a little room left and right for that. If you're not worried about Indian head pennies, you can block out this area right there. And then a nice wide range for silver that will you know, help deal with anything in the ground with it, minerals and small bits of iron and stuff, because you could see from the test garden there that you lose that nice tight dot when they're in the ground at depth. And then when you're done with your program, you could just back out of here. So we have our blocks set up. You just back out and you're all set to go. So that'll be your discrimination pattern. You can turn it off with the horseshoe there. You can also save it as a favorite if you would like. And yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you this weekend when we compare this one with the Deus 2 with both notch programs.